Cool. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Keeping Health Real. I'm Noreen McDonald. I know pretty much most of you, which is fantastic. First of all, hey, Kels. First of all, I just want to say thanks so much for taking the time to get on the call tonight. Hopefully I can add some value to your education around health. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a naturopath. I've been on and off practicing for about 20 years. And I'm a bioresonance therapist and amongst all sorts of other bits and bobs. I've always had a passion for health, and that's primarily been through my own health journey, which started when I was 3 months old with full-blown eczema. My mum couldn't breastfeed me, so I had to go on to cow's milk, and I had a reaction to that straight away. And eczema just went on and on and on and got worse and worse, and I used stronger hydrocortisone creams as I went through my childhood. And then it led to asthma, and I was just that sickly child. I actually thought I had vessels in my body that were made out of snot. It was that bad. I just felt like I could blow my nose forever and it would never stop. Lots of allergies, and that's really, I actually say thank you to all of those things now, because it's what led me onto this path of natural health. And I didn't even know that an alternative form of medicine existed when I was little, and neither did my parents. So it's been a huge learning curve. And I hope to share with you some wisdom tonight. And in fact, I can't even take the credit for what I'm going to present to you tonight, because actually we're going to talk about the How to Plate Up methodology, which was actually developed by a very, very dear friend of mine who I went to high school with, called Natalie Baldock. So you can check out Natalie Baldock. She's got her own webpage, which is pretty cool. She's got some good branding, called nataliebaldock.com. And she's become very successful in her career. She's an international speaker. She travels over to America, and we're going to have her here in Nelson, hopefully, and through New Zealand early next year. We're going to go on a bit of a tour. She does a really, really funny, this is a bit rude, but she does a really funny talk called Veggies and Vaginas, which is not what you think it is. It's about how she used plant-based nutrition to heal her candida issues, which is just so cool. She puts a lot of humour into it. So Nat's a whole food coach. She was trained by INN, and she came up with this methodology of eating, which I think is awesome. So being a naturopath, we learned so many different diets when I went to college, and it can become really confusing for people. And in clinic, people come in and they're really like, what should I eat? What shouldn't I eat? Should I be paleo? Should I be veggie? There's so many different ways, and things tend to run in fads. It was sort of like macrobiotic for a while, then it was veganism, and then it was vegetarianism, and then it was paleo. And so people are quite confused. And so when Nat showed me her How to Plate Up methodology and I read through the program, I thought, hey, this is actually really, really cool, because it's not a diet, it's a way of plating up. So it's an awareness thing. Once you learn the How to Plate Up rules, then every time you sit down to make a meal or a snack, it can be just in the background of your mind. Oh, okay, am I doing this still in the ratio that I've been recommended to do it? Now, let's just say, firstly, I am totally not a Puritan, so I don't actually believe in doing anything 100% of the time. And I use the How to Plate Up guide with my clients and with myself, definitely as a guide. And I'm going to show you, after we've been through it, what I've done for this week. Like, I've filled in my menu planner so you can sort of see what I've done and start to learn how to apply it. Because it's one thing getting an ebook and sort of getting run through it, and then it's another thing, as usual, like everything in life, actually applying it into your daily rhythms, instead of it just being another book that's in your computer or another book that's put onto the shelf. So let's see if we can make it easy for you lovely ladies. We're all ladies as usual. There's hardly ever any men on this. Some of the time they're sitting on the sides and they don't let themselves be seen. So hello men, we know you're there. Okay, here we go. First of all, thumbs up if you can see that. Yeah, cool. Okay, so this is the How to Plate Up guide. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and expand it to the full screen, and if you can't see it or if you lose my audio in doing it, can somebody unmute themselves and let me know? Otherwise, I'm just going to keep talking, because as soon as I make this full screen, I won't be able to see you. So I'm going to make it full screen now. Oh, screen sharing has stopped. Okay, well, that's not good. Don't tell me that we're having technological issues again. Yes, we are. Okay, hold on a minute. This happened last time I was on the call too. How annoying. All right, hold on. Bear with me, everybody. See if I can get this open again. Seriously, computer. It's time for a new computer, obviously. See if I can get this open. Come on, technology, work for me. You can do it. Actually, I think last time I was on the call, Bo came upstairs and was like, Mom. So let's see if we can get this working. Oh, come on, please work. You can do it. Oh, what is going on? Okay, here we go. Good old technology. It's coming, ladies. It's worth the wait, I promise. All right. I might just keep it like that in case what I did before made it go away. So thumbs up if you can see it clearly enough anyway, just the way it is. Okay, awesome. So this is the How to Play It Up book from Nat. And, you know, it's a total gift because she's put her hard work. It's taken her quite a while to compile this book, and it's absolutely presented beautifully, as you can see. And when you receive the ebook, you're more than welcome to go and get it printed out. Now, I went to the printers today and said, oh, you know, can you print this out in full colour? And it was going to cost like $60 to their print quality. Obviously, you can print it on your own printer, which I think I'm going to end up doing, or you can get it printed professionally and just do black and white for the recipes, but I'd like a full colour version. So isn't it beautifully presented? There's the lovely Nat with a big laugh. She doesn't have a big hair on. Normally it's like, poof. So, yeah, as you can see here, I am going to try and do that view to the big screen because it really looks so much better. Well, it's not going to let me. I'm just going to touch it. So basically, with the way that this methodology works, you know, she sort of goes through it here. People are so confused about what to eat, how to play it up, you know, what not to eat. And she's really simplified it with this ebook, which is just fantastic. So the methodology is that a plate needs to comprise of certain food groups which actually aid your digestion and your nervous health and your immune function. And when we can plate up in a certain ratio, including the very important 10% good fats, which is probably the one thing that I think most people miss in each meal or snack, we really start to nourish the nervous system. And the nervous system really is the thing that connects our brain to the rest of our bodies. So to be honest, nothing else is going to work unless that connection, that electrical energy circuit is occurring. And that's where the good fats come in, because they actually nourish the myelin sheath, which coat all of the nerves in the body. We know the importance of digestive health. I mean, we know that it's our second brain now. We know there's a massive connection between serotonin production and how we feel and how our moods are affected by what we eat. And in the clinic, you know, we see so many people that come in with food allergies / food intolerances. And lately I've been seeing quite a few young kids, you know, in their teens or even younger, coming in with undiagnosed digestive problems, which, you know, is a bit of a, why is this, I don't know that, go away, which is a bit of a problem, obviously, because something's not right in their digestive health. And we know when we look along the shelves, you know, in the supermarket, that we're laden with pre-packaged processed foods. And it's amazing to think, when you're in that supermarket, like I shop at Fresh Choice, and it's not like, you know, it's not a massive supermarket, but if you go to somewhere like Countdown, it's just huge. And you walk after aisle, it's all in boxes, and you try and work out what's inside half of this stuff. And we don't know, you know, it's amazing, isn't it, that we can buy things, try and read the side of it, don't know what it is, but people still totally putting it into their mouths. So this eating philosophy is coming back to whole foods, which whole foods is everything that's as close to nature and as unprocessed as possible. And, of course, that type of food has a massive amount of intelligence in it. And that's why we love to focus on plants. Okay, so you can apply this, as I said, to any type of eating that you're into. So how to plate up? How can we use this effectively, this guide? So basically you're going to read it, and we're going to go through it anyway today to talk about the 30% protein rule, the 60% plant-based carbohydrates, and the 10% fats. You can review the methodology. You can look at the recipe suggestions, or because I'm going to teach you how to do it, you can just learn how to plate up your own meal, and you'll see what I've done in my menu planner. So fill out your weekly menu planner. Make sure you feel well organised. So last night I sat down and I flicked through the book and wrote down some ideas from breakfast, mid-morning, lunch, mid-afternoon and dinner. Then I sat and looked at the recipes, and quickly, it took me 15 minutes to write down my shopping list. So I shop with Fresh to You, which is the organic grocery delivery for fruits and vegetables. That organic veggies will get delivered to me on Wednesday, which is great. And then all the stuff that I couldn't get, I just went to Fresh Choice, or you can go to your farmers markets, etc. And it makes it really easy. I did my shop today, and I know that I'm completely set up for this whole week of eating, which you ladies know, if you're not organised and you're hungry and you're out, you're going to grab something that's probably not so good for you. That's just the way we work. That's why this is great for new mums, because, once babe's asleep, 15 minutes to organise yourself for the week, and you can feel so great on this methodology. So to ensure the program has the biggest impact on your health, make sure you are taking your Juice Plus capsules and complete. We're going to go through that later. You can join the Facebook group and be part of this community to be supported. And then you can attend How to Plate Up events. And we're going to start doing some of those in Nelson, and obviously we're doing them online tonight. So the methodology around How to Plate Up is here, 60% plant-based carbohydrates. So it's literally, you're going to take a plate. Imagine that. 60% plant-based carbohydrates, 30% good high-quality protein, and 10% fats. So before we look at the suggestions, I'm going to flick down to here, the 30-60-10 rule. So people always get confused with what is in what food group, and it totally is understandable, but that's why you've got this in your guide. So the protein, as you can see here, is nuts and seeds. It's grains such as quinoa, buckwheat, spelt, and amaranth, which are the most highly digestible grains in comparison to something like wheat. You've got your fish, your meats, your tempeh or tofu, your cheeses, your yogurt, kefirs, your legumes such as beans, and your eggs. So as you can see, you can choose protein from any of those sources. That's why this can be applied to vegetarians, because you can still have your tempeh or your tofu. It can be applied to vegans if you want to. It just kind of goes across the board. Obviously, paleo is really happy because there's lots of different choices there. So 30% protein on your plate. Now, the protein should kind of be about the size of the palm of your hand and the thickness, unless you're breastfeeding or you're pregnant, and then you're going to add another third. Don't get too worried about it. I mean, seriously, who's going to go, oh, the steak's this big? But it's just a guide. And obviously, if you're exercising heavily, you're going to eat a little bit more protein as well. What are the carbohydrates? The plant-based carbs. So obviously, fruits and vegetables, onions, grasses like the wheatgrass and barley grass, herbs, root vegetables, sprouts, superfoods as well. The key with the plant-based carbs here is 60 to 80% greens with a splash of colour, and always trying to use your seasonal produce, obviously. So we know that when people eat a rainbow of fruits and vegetables, they are getting a huge amount of micronutrition into their diets, because every single fruit and every vegetable contains slightly different types of micronutrition. And the beauty about the plants is that they work synergistically together. So if you eat an apple, for example, you take in all of those micronutrients, but it's also got the enzymes in it to help you digest it. And then if you have a juice and you put some beetroot and some celery and some ginger in there, all those nutrients work together rather than competing for each other for binding sites in the bodies, which is what can sometimes happen when we take isolated vitamins and minerals and supplements. We'll talk about that later. The 10% good fat. So this is the part that I think a lot of people miss, and I definitely was guilty of that and still am sometimes. So this book is a great reminder. What are good fats? And there's been so much, over the years of, no, you can't have fat. Coconuts, coconut oil, avocado, hemp seed oil, all the different oils, the good ones, you know what they are, olive oil, sesame seeds, macadamia oil, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. And people always say to me, one of the biggest questions I've had in the 20 years I've been working is, so I shouldn't have butter. And I say, no, it depends if you've got an intolerance to dairy or not, but most of the time, even people that can't have dairy can handle butter. And definitely choose butter over margarine any day. It's, again, as unprocessed as possible. So you come back up to, let's have just a look at some ideas around that 60-30-10. So breakfast suggestions here: buckwheat crepes, fruit salad, poached eggs with sautéed greens, quinoa porridge. Don't have to worry about writing all these down because you get the ebook. Lunch suggestions: quite often for lunch I'll have leftovers from the night before, or I'll do a salad in a jar. And we're going to we're going to have some salad in a jar parties actually here in Nelson, where we just sit around and we teach people how to concoct some amazing dressings. And salad in a jar means you put the dressing in the bottom of one of those cool AG jars or whatever jar you've got at home, and then you're stacking all your salads. And because the dressing's at the bottom, it doesn't go all soggy. So you can literally prepare 3 lunches for yourself on a Sunday, or even I know people that do 5. I'm not sure if it stays that fresh, but they say it does. And then when you're ready to eat it, you just shake it up and the dressing goes through it. So that's quite often what I'll have for lunch with that in mind. 60% plants, 30% protein could be, you know, it might be a tin of tuna, it might be an egg, you know, that sort of thing, some tofu grilled on the barbecue. And dinner suggestions here, obviously we've got magic bone broth, all sorts of things here. Snacks, chia pudding, raw protein balls, these are amazing. And they're the ones that I always put on Facebook. So yummy. Bo loves them in his lunchbox, and I absolutely love them when I have that little sweet craving after dinner. So it's better than reaching for the chocolate, I reckon. Smoothies, same thing again, just trying to have that awareness, 60-30-10. Juices is a little bit different, 4 to 5 parts of veg and only 1 part of fruit. So a lot of people get that slightly wrong and do it the other way around. So that's the juices. So as you can see, it's pretty simple. And the lovely Nat has done here the weekly planner. And I'm just going to, if I can, I'm going to stop that share for a second, and I'm going to show you hopefully it works. Okay, where's everybody gone? You're there, but you've just gone blank. Okay, here we go. Share screen. Hi. It's coming. There we go. Can you guys see that? Girls see that? Thumbs up. Okay, so this is what I sat down and did yesterday. So as you can see, look at my week. Yum. It's super delicious. And I tell you what, when I'm organised like this, it makes me feel very empowered, and it makes me feel very happy, because I'm not thinking, oh, what am I going to cook for tea? You know, I'll be honest, the one that I always tend to not be so good with is lunch, and I'll usually go and grab some sushi. And to be honest, that does get expensive. You know, when Aaron's home from work and we're grabbing lunch out a lot of the time, and we probably spend over $100 a week on lunches. So you can see, do all of that. Breakfast, you know, I had my complete smoothie this morning. I had my protein balls. I had my, I just made a Mexican thing last night with beans and veggies, and I just already had my salad in the jar, and I just threw the beans on the top, and then a veggie / fruit juice. Just threw my juicer at home, and then a yummy chickpea curry. So I just had it with some steamed veg, and I did a little bit of rice for Bo. So, you know, just have a look through here. It's pretty yummy. It's pretty clean stuff, yummy stuff. Alkalizing salad, how beautiful is that? Coconut dream smoothie. And I'll be honest, this is why I love Nat's book, is because what I was getting into the habit of doing is just, we're creatures of habit, aren't we? We cook the same things week in and week out, and we eat the same things for breakfast, the same things for lunch. And it's really good to have this where you know, you can sit down at the beginning of the week and get excited about the meals, and even sit down with your family and say, okay, everybody choose one meal that we're going to have for tea, and then write that down. And then, you know, if the recipe isn't 60, 30, 10, you can just alter it up to be that way, or how you plate it up, really. So you can see here, I'm a big 80-20 girl. So 80% of the time I try to eat very well, and then 20% Saturday, Sunday, woohoo, fun time. Because you've got to have that little bit of fun where, you know, if I have those weekends off, and it doesn't mean I'm going to go out and have a hamburger and fish and chips and, you know, all that stuff, but we might have a hamburger, a homemade one, and I might make some spelt rolls, but I might have some chips. I might have fish and chips with Bo on a Friday night. You know, sue me. It's all good. It's fun time with your family. So we might go down to Tahunanui Beach and have a real fruit ice cream, you know, a yogurt one or not. Doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is, if you do 80-20, this sort of eating can last for the rest of your life. But if you do 100% all of the time, it might not. It depends what sort of person you are. And if you're not a puritanical person, then these sort of plans can go out the window in a matter of a few weeks. So that's what I would recommend is, you know, do this as much as you want. You might say to yourself, I'm going to start with 3 days of how to plate up eating, and then it might gradually come in. Just work with it depending on what sort of person you are. Okay, so let's see if I can just quickly go back to the book. It's going to work for me. Close that off. Okay, can everyone see that? We're back to the book. Yes, it's working. So, you know, Nat's lovely. She's done a whole month's worth. I just photocopied, well, I printed off one, and I printed off 10 of them just to save time. So, and then Nat's gone through here into all of the recipes, and, you know, it's with good stuff. And she teaches you in here, it's got how to make your homemade nut milk. It's got how to make coconut yogurt, because that's like $20 for the Raglan yogurt, right? The coconut yogurt. You can just make it with a probiotic cap and some really nice coconut cream. There's a local lady actually who's just started importing, I think it's called Little Bear. It's beautiful coconut cream. So I'm going to try that this week. Yeah, so I'm not going to go through obviously every recipe, but we'll just, you know, quinoa porridge, Minty Madness smoothie bowl, winter porridge. Just go flick, flick, flick a little bit down. Oh, there's the raw protein balls. Oh my gosh. If you're going to make anything out of this book, make those, because they are so, so good. And kids love them. Like, I took them away on, we went up to Golden Bay recently for that spring challenge thing. And, you know, a lot of those kids don't eat this stuff. They were just like, oh, there was one kid that didn't like it, which is fine. I'm still friends with her. That's okay. You don't have to love her. Like, I say they're my raw protein balls, actually Nat's, but she doesn't care. I can steal her stuff. This one, Nat made this when she came over at our house, is absolutely to die for. Coconut, medjool dates, raw almonds, green apples. You know, that is just pure yum. So we still allow for that sweet taste, because if you don't allow for that sweet taste in your palate, you'll start craving it, and then you will go and have something bad. It's just a fact of life. And how to make a good nut butter, you know, perfect, yum. If you've got a Thermomix that you can make nut butters in, seriously, it's about 30 seconds. They're amazing. Simple vegetable stocks, vegan gravy, which is great, homemade sauerkraut. So, of course, we're getting into that fermented foods thing. And the fermented foods, you know, the sauerkrauts, the kombucha, the kefirs, it's the way that we used to eat traditionally. And there was a reason for that, because back in the olden days, they were onto it. They knew that they had to look after their digestive health. And then, of course, I think it would have been in the 1970s when I was born, and Mum just said all the convenience foods came out, which is when all the processed stuff came out. And we really went away from looking after our digestive health, and thank goodness it's making a resurgence. So absolutely, get into the sauerkrauts, you know, start making kombucha. And again, we're going to do some workshops here in Nelson. Homemade raw coconut yogurt, easy, yum. if you can get coconuts, I just use coconut cream. So here's all of her different smoothie suggestions, etc. So yeah, I mean, obviously you can have a look through this yourself, but I do love this little bit, and this is a nice one as well to print out and laminate and put it up on your fridge. These are the next steps. So, you know, number one is get the diet happening, not the diet, I hate that word, get this eating methodology happening as much as possible into your life. You will start to feel incredible amounts of energy from the way this program is set up, because if you look at it, you're still eating beautiful food, but you're cutting out the crap. But when you look at my weekly planner, I mean, I'm still having my little sweet things and my little treats. And because there's that 20% of the time on the weekend, I know that this will last. And then incorporating some of this stuff into your life, obviously breathing, obviously drinking water is important. Vitamin D, get into the sunshine, whole foods as much as possible, exercising every day. Exercise that you love, not exercise that you think you should be doing, I think is the key. Having beautiful relationships, being passionate about something in life, being grateful, earthing yourself with your bare feet in the grass or dirt, and sleep, really, really important. So that's a lovely page to print out and have on your fridge. So I'm going to stop that share. And, Kelly's mum's on. Hi. So I'm just going to talk really briefly about Juice Plus, because most of you know Nat and I are massive advocates of Juice Plus, and I would never stand behind a product that I absolutely don't believe in. And when I first got introduced to it by Nat, it just made sense to me. It's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, and we know people don't eat enough plants at all in their diets, and if they do, they don't do it every single day. So it bridges the gap between what we should eat but what we actually get around to eating. Now, of course, with this sort of methodology that we're talking about, you absolutely are. Your plant-based carbohydrates are going to increase rapidly, but we still like to take Juice Plus because it then starts stacking even more thousands of micronutrients into your body every single day. So I've noticed a massive difference. I've been on it for, what is it? Is it October? Yeah. I got onto it July last year. And I think the biggest difference I notice is definitely my energy levels. So like I said before, I ate generally well anyway, but I just found since I've been on it, I'm just got more clarity of my brain. I can put more on my plate. I'm a pretty busy person, but I don't collapse. You know, at 3 p.m, I'm not like, oh my gosh, give me a, I don't know. Mine was never a coffee. Mine would have been give me some chocolate or some yummy sweet treat. Sometimes I still do have a sweet treat, but it's usually a bliss ball or something like that, or the banana cake at the kitchen cafe, which is to die for. So, yeah, I'm just going to show you the products just quickly so you know what they are. So how are they made is really important to understand, because I think that's why they are so outstanding. And if you're a grower of vegetables or fruit, you would understand that even allowing your tomato to ripen on the vine for 1 to 2 days more, the taste compared to when you pick it, it's like you get a tomato off the vine, fully ripe, eat it, or you get one that you've plucked, you know, because you couldn't wait too early and you tried to eat that and it just doesn't have the same flavour, and you know as soon as you pick, you go, oh, I should have waited. So Juice Plus, we wait. We wait those few extra couple of days until everything's at full ripeness and maturity. It's harvested. It's transported very quickly in a chiller to the processing plant. Everything is pulped together. So when you have these three, which is the fruit, the veg, and the berry, it's over 26 varieties of plants. And when I say they pulp it, they pulp the skin, the core, everything goes in together. And then what happens is they're left, obviously, with this slushy stuff. And then they've got, it's an amazing, it looks like a space age processing plant. I haven't been there, but I'm going to go hopefully next year to have a look at it all. But they sort of spin it and they dehydrate it at the same time at a really low temperature between 0 to 1 degrees. So they extract the water and they also extract the sugar. And then the final, it finally comes out basically as a powder, and then they encapsulate it into a vegan capsule. So it really is a live raw food concentrate, because nothing's really been done to it apart from the water and the sugar taken out. And so you're left with this supercharged micronutrition powder. For people that don't want to swallow capsules, you can just empty them into your smoothies. They're made from pullulan, which is a vegan source, and they disintegrate very quickly. So if you get one stuck on your tongue, it's stuck there. So that's the fruit and veg and berry. And we have the kids' chews as well, which we love, bows on them. So that's part of his routine. People that don't want to swallow capsules can take those. And what we love is that when an adult gets onto the products, they get to sponsor a child for free soft chews or free capsules. So that's fantastic. So let's say, for example, this morning I had my complete smoothie. So I had my almond milk and I had my vanilla complete, which is a Juice Plus product, plant-based carbohydrates. This is formulated precisely in that 60-30-10 ratio. So I just went sachet, chia seeds, banana, spinach, probiotic, udas oil for my omegas, ice, whiz that up. So basically my whole routine is get Bo's breakfast ready, whiz up the smoothie, and then while I'm drinking my smoothie, I'm making his lunch. And then we both do our Juice Plus capsules and chews, and then a glass of water, and then we're out the door. And when I start the morning like that, it is so different. Like last week, school holidays, everything kind of went out the window, and I was like, I'm going to have banana and honey on, it was gluten-free toast. And I was like, yum, nice big cup of chai tea with some honey and some homemade almond milk. So it's not that bad. It's still pretty good. But tell you what, tummy rumbling probably an hour later. It just doesn't see me through. And the same goes when I have porridge. It doesn't see me through. I'm hungry. But when I have my smoothie, I can last till, if I go to clinic on a Wednesday or Thursday, I'm at clinic flat out with clients till sometimes 1. And usually my stomach doesn't grumble. So that's saying something, because it does grumble if I don't eat the right things. That's pretty much our program. And we love it. And we would love all of you to take advantage of Nat's gift. So basically with the ebook, you can either just head straight over to nataliebaldock.com, and there'll be a place there where you can get the ebook. Or if you can't find it, just all of you know my Facebook details. Just send me a Facebook message and I'll flick it straight over to you. So like I said, just, Nat has honestly gifted this to humanity, and that's what she said. We want people to get better. We are both extremely passionate about helping people with their health in an easy manner, and this is what we do. So we're going to have these regularly. I'd say I'm going to do this talk, let's say I'll repeat it again in 2 weeks' time. And I would love it if you would like to invite anyone that you want onto the talk in 2 weeks' time. Just give them the same link. That's always the same Zoom ID for my talks. And we would love to help people. You must know so many people that just want help with a simpler way of eating. And you know them. I know you're thinking of them right now. Those people that go, I've got to eat like this and I can't have any fun. And we've got to bring the fun back into eating, but also just in a really simplified manner. So has anyone got any questions? You're welcome to unmute yourself and fire away any questions if you have any. No? Good. I've answered everybody's questions. So please let us know if we can help you in any other way. I'm available through the Facebook page, Keeping Health Real. Just message me if you've got actual personal issues like health problems that you don't want to share amongst everyone tonight. Please just reach out to me. I'll do my best to help you on an individual basis as well. And obviously if you want to order the Juice Plus, just contact the person who invited you onto the call or who shared this recording with you, and let them help you to start your health journey. And also, if you love what we do, then we are expanding to New Zealand, and we're always looking for more people. We work primarily with women, but also sometimes men that just want to have fun. So just reach out to us. Okay? Thanks, everybody, for getting on the call. I appreciate your time. Nice to see all your lovely faces. I feel like I've just been hanging out with my mates all night. This is the best thing about this business. We just have fun and get paid for it. So, yeah, please do. Oh, and the Facebook group. So I just messaged Nat, but I don't think she got back to me yet. No. I just asked her if the Facebook group is up and running yet, but I just tried to search for it and I couldn't find it, so she must still be formulating it. But I think I might formulate one specifically for New Zealand, so keep your eye out on my Keeping Health Real page for that. And for anyone who wants to do this, it's so good to have a Facebook group like that, because then if you're eating like this and you've just cooked something amazing, you just take a photo of it and put it on the Facebook page, and it really encourages people, and you can formulate a lovely community like that in supporting each other in health. So, yeah. Okay. Thanks, beautiful people, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, North.
No worries. Bye.